How to get a wired internet broadband connection, rapid, solid, never breaks, wirelessly? Yep, you heard me right. Let me explain.
Join the fight with the elite older gamer. Level up on the clutch time tamer. EOG.
Hello everyone, it's your elite older gamer, the OG, and I thought I'd do a video today because not a lot of people might be aware of this, and it's actually an ingenious solution if you have wireless issues, whether that be on your gaming setup, perhaps it's just your PC, laptop, anything in general that needs to link wirelessly. Well, did you know that even if you're miles away from your modem or router, you can get a wired connection anywhere in your home? And it's actually an ingenious solution. So what I'm going to do is break it down and show you how to do it. There is a bit of cost to it. This is not a sponsored video. There's loads of brands who do this stuff I'm going to show you today. This isn't by no means, am I advertising something? I'm just telling you what I used and a bit of insight into how I got a solid wireless connection. Now, I've been streaming for a bit. You know that. Currently, we're streaming Street Fighter 6. And when I first started, was coming into issues around, the connection and wireless drops, and it's really annoying. And sometimes it just doesn't show the speeds it should. So I've had this for a while, but it really triggered me the other day. If you haven't seen the Ryu themed OG Xbox, obviously an OG Xbox, check that video if you want to, but an OG Xbox does not have Wi-Fi built into it. So you get online on my old OG Xbox, I have to have an Ethernet connection. And my house is a little bit odd. So I live in like a 3-story, which means that my office gaming setup and this YouTube studio, so to speak, is miles away from my modem router. And I'm not going to start, buying a 20-meter length of Ethernet and routing either up and down the stairs or through ceilings. You don't need to. So here's what you need to do. This works, it's amazing, it's ingenious, but let me explain, try and make it really simple for you, okay? So these bits are already installed for me, so I'm going to use the box and there'll be loads of equivalents to this. But this is called a gigabit powerline starter kit. And what it essentially is, can you see that? It's 2 plugs, okay? 2 plugs essentially that have an Ethernet port. And what they do, you take one of these and you put it next to your modem, or as quiet, as close as you can, okay? You then get an Ethernet, and I'll come on to which ones in a minute. The Ethernet cable then runs into the LAN port, the LAN port of your modem. That's all you need to do. This is plug and play. You do not need to, go on a PC and start breaking things down. It's all plug and play. It's dead easy to use. And it's showing you there on the back, basically saying you can have a wired connection in your house by using one of these. I'll explain how it works in simple terms in a minute. But essentially, plug this near your modem, put an Ethernet into your modem, right? So you've got one, let's say, downstairs. You take the other plug to the point where you want a wired connection. So for me, it's in here, which is miles away from my modem. But you put it in here. Then what you do is just plug it in. You press a pair button and they sync. And you'll see the lights on it. They'll all go solid. It syncs. Now, what that does is then you plug an Ethernet cable into the one where you've moved it to. So for me, the one in here, and that's it. You've got a wired connection, whatever you plug it into. And I'll come into the options in a minute, but let me explain how it works. So some genius out there realized that your electrical cabling and wiring can send down more messages down it than just electricity, to keep it simple. So what this does is basically pull the feed from your modem, fire it through your electrical cables in your house, and it will come out the other end wherever the other plug is it's paired with. It's so clever, right? So then essentially what you have is wherever you want, wired connection, wired internet into wherever you want to plug the Ethernet into. So essentially it sends it through your electrical cabling to somewhere else in the house. I know it sounds mind-blowing if you've never done this. Now, some of you might go, yeah, I know, it's been out years. But some people might not, you know. And that was about £30-40. It's worth the money. It really is, because I've used it for a while now. It's solid and efficient, and it's amazing. So that's how you do it. Now, but one Ethernet cable, what's the point in that, EOG? Wow, that's where you build something else in. If you want to, you might not need more than one. I do. I got a cheap ass old school PC, you know, which again has got no Wi-Fi in it, believe it or not. It's that old, but it does the job for me. I got my OG Xbox and I got my Xbox Series. So there's 3 that I need already. So here's what you need to do, and I'll come on to the cables in a minute, okay? And there should be overlays coming on the screen showing you all these things as we go anyway, okay? But check out this. This is called a 5-port gigabit. And again, these are really easy to get hold of. This is more of a decent spec one because I really needed reliable speeds. And this is the one you want. And what I do is, so wherever I've got the host plug, or the guest plug, I should say, the host one's near the modem, then it fires it to the guest one, or the rebound one, whatever you want to call it, right? However, repeater one, should we go with the repeater? So I got one of these in this room, okay? Down under the desk behind me, yeah? So out of there comes one Ethernet cable. And then essentially what I do is I route that Ethernet into the source point of this 5-port gigabit, okay? It fires through all the signal into this, and then all I do is I've then got four ports Ethernet to run out from. So in other words, it's almost a splitter. So I split the one plug I get from here into 4 Ethernet ports, and then I can plug 4 Ethernets into something else and have wired connection to 4 separate devices. It's been immense for me. It's so reliable and it's ridiculously quick compared to my Wi-Fi. So that's what I do. Now, to go through some of the more tech specifics, I'll try and keep this as easy as I can. To get the most benefit out of this, there are different categories of Ethernet cable, and you're typically looking, if you go on any, DIY store, eBay, Amazon, whatever, they'll be in categories, or CAT. So there'll be CAT 4, 5, 6, 6A, 7 and 8. All you need to guarantee your maximum speed to work, let's say on a modern day console or PC, is CAT 6A. There's almost no point getting 7 or 8 because essentially it's just what can be fired through. You're looking at more industrial stuff with 7 and 8. If you get a 7 and 8, it won't be any quicker than a 6A. And obviously the higher the category, the more expensive it will be. So here's what I did. Now it's all rerouted under the desk, so I can't really show you bits. I'm just gonna have to try and explain it and make some, put some images on the screen to help. But here's how I did it, right? So obviously I bought this kit, okay? And then I needed about 1 meter because it's plugged right next to my modem. So I bought a 6A 1 meter Ethernet cable from this into my modem, okay? Then the one upstairs, so the repeater plug to this is in here, and out of that, so an out, comes 1 Ethernet. And I measured it so it'd go rerouting around the skirting board, and it was about 5 meters. So I bought a 5 meter cable for in here, rerouted that round, stuck it into this. I've then got 4 Ethernet ports, and it's all under my desk, you can't see it. So essentially then I bought, depending on what you need, but I bought 3 6A 1 meter cables. I didn't need really long cables, I just needed short. And then the 3 of them go into the Xbox Series X, 1 goes into the OG Xbox, 1 goes into my PC. That is it. And then I've got wired connection in here on all my devices. It's just immense. I mean, it's insane. You can't really see anything, in terms of cabling running around. You might not need 3 or 4, but just don't buy cheap Ethernet, really low CAT, and you're thinking, well, it's not that good. Buy 6A, okay? Every time you buy an Ethernet, it should say the CAT next to it of what it is. It's usually sometimes denoted by colours, so sometimes your thinner grey stuff can be quite, cheap, and then it gets thicker, and usually you can get it in all colours, to be honest. You can get it in any colour you want off eBay, but It's predominantly like a black colour, quite a thicker cable, a really good high standard. And the little bit of investment, so it cost me total of what, 60, 70 pounds, maybe bordering 75 pounds for all this kit and all the associated Ethernet cables. And that's it. And with these, I've now got wired broadband internet connection to, as I said, my 2 Xboxes and my PC. And that's it. You just leave it on and running. And it's immense. It really is. So that is about it, really. This is more of a help video today, like we do every so often. If you're struggling with Wi-Fi connection drops, if you'd prefer, because some games as well, if you're a gamer, obviously you probably are if you're watching this, but let's say Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat over the years has usually said wireless versus wired. I don't know why they showcase that so much, but it does. And the difference on my Xbox since I've done this has been quite immense. You know, normally you turn on, if you're an Xbox user, you turn it on and it takes a few minutes to connect with the Wi-Fi, and sometimes it drops in and out. The minute you turn it on, it's on. Okay, this just quietly works away under there. This does have its own independent plug, so you need to, you know, understand that as well. It has its own little power device, only a small power device, but for the power usage and what you get, I personally find it, you know, incredible. You might find it not required, and that's fine. I'm just giving you obviously my take on more reliability, faster connections, less drops, basically zero unless your modem went off, all hidden, because I've said before, I did a video, you know, it's a long time ago now, but turn your Xbox into a PC, and my setup was in there. So my full setup, this side of the camera which you can't see, and essentially it was showcasing that I really like being quite geeky with cable routing and keeping cable management really tidy. So it's all hidden away. And as I said, I bought them short Ethernets for a reason, because I didn't want loads of spiraled cable all looped up underneath the table. So try it out if you're interested. You know, get these from a store. UK, these are in Argos for me. And if it doesn't work for you, take them back. You know, set it all up on day one. If it doesn't work, if you don't find any benefit, get rid of it. Take it back, no money lost. But for me, immense, absolutely immense. And you only need that if you need one Ethernet. If you need more than one Ethernet, you can also buy these with 2, 3, 4 ports in them, but the cost goes up. This, stacked on top of that, if that makes sense, works out cheaper than buying the more expensive range of these, in my opinion. Last thing to remember with them is, for them to work properly and work best, they must go independently into a socket, so not into a strip adapter or, you know, an extra gangway socket of 4 strips. It must go directly into the wall. So you will be tying up one, you know, plug socket for one of these each end, so 2 sockets throughout your property. But hey, we all have enough sockets these days, or should have, and you can run your adapters off your other one if you got them in 2 in tandems anyway. So look, it's an amazing bit of kit. I just thought I'd share that with you because I absolutely love it since I've installed it. It's rapid beyond belief, and I've really noticed the difference in my upload and download speeds, especially my upload for my videos and stuff. Immense. That is it. Any questions on that, let me know, but hopefully I've broke that down in terminology that is easy to understand and digest. But any issues, let me know. I'll get back to you. All right, that's enough for today. Take care. Bye bye.